And coming to frame. Hi everyone, it is time for the weekly video. Once again, this is ridiculously unplanned and spontaneous, and I'm not sure exactly what I'll be talking about this week, but I did just receive 2 items through the post, one of which is unknown to me, Killer's Moon. This is another 88 Films release. It is a slasher, I believe. When a school outing of teenage girls arrives at their destination in the Lake District, they find themselves subjected to the murderous designs of 4 escaped mental patients who believe they are trapped in a dream. I'm sure that is going to be handled with the sensitivity and care you would expect from an 80s slasher movie. Sounds wonderful. Actually, well, it was released in 1978, the same year as Halloween. So it's, yeah, it's not even 80s, 70s. I didn't know that. It looks like a curio piece. The names Norman J. Warren and I think Pete Walker are mentioned on the back case. So it will be a very British take on the slasher movie and the tropes of the slasher movie, I guess. I may try and fit that in sooner rather than later. I'm intrigued. The other bit of post, now, although I've not seen this, this is the latest one from Eureka. They're masters of cinema set, cinema. The Sap Head, and on there you also have The Scribe, which is a mid-60s short film with Keaton in there. It's is it a safety film, I think? Yeah, his last film role, produced to promote construction site safety. So, fantastic. I now have a set of Buster Keaton short films, and I believe 3 sets of his main features. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the big titles are in there. The General and Sherlock Jr. being favourites. Sherlock Jr. I think is one I actually enjoy a bit more than the General, but I'm going to rewatch the General at some point and sort of give it a bit more of my time and attention, because it deserves it. It's such a great piece of filmmaking, and everyone should watch some Buster Keaton. It's old, it's dated in some ways, but the physical comedy and the stunt work is kind of timeless, and he was really good at the technical side of things. Obviously, that's why his name endures throughout cinema history as Buster Keaton. I would recommend him thoroughly to anyone who's interested in cinema, even if you think, I don't want to go that far back, because older films can be a bit stuffy and stilted and out of sync with modern filmmaking techniques. That isn't really the case with Keaton. There are obviously a great variety of quality in his shorts, because he did a lot of shorts, and I think I have quite a few with Fatty Arbuckle they did. But the highlights are still jaw-droppingly good, and mainly the quality for his features and for anything that I think he had a bit more creative control on seemed to be really consistent and really worth your while. I mean, as I say, I've only mentioned The General and Sherlock Jr. I've gone blank on other feature film titles, which is absolutely ridiculous, but they're all good. They're all worth your time. Speaking of worth your time, I hope you didn't spend too much time watching the bombs that we covered for the special last week. A reminder, that was Tomorrowland, that was Battlefield Earth, and that was Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I hope you enjoyed the discussion of them though, even though we had to discuss Tomorrowland, Battlefield Earth and the Street Fighter of Chun-Li. I'll still stick up for Tomorrowland, so to hell with the haters. Coming up this week, I decided I wanted some old-fashioned swashbuckling. It's been a while since I've revisited this classic. Spoiler, that's my opinion there. We're going with The Adventures of Robin Hood. So a bit of Errol Flynn, bit of Basil Rathbone, bit of jolly swordplay in there. Tyler has surprised us all by going for a slightly polished, slightly mainstream, but a little bit art house looking lesbian drama, starring Catherine Waterston, Vanessa Kirby, Casey Affleck, and Christopher Abbott, called The World to Come. So if you look up the poster for The World to Come, you'll then say, ah, of course Tyler went for that one. But those are the two movies that we'll be discussing. If you want to share your opinions on them here or over on our Facebook page, the Wednesday post may appear on Wednesday. It could be Thursday. It could be any day when I prod and remind Tyler. But we always value your opinions, and we may remember to mention them this time again, as we did a couple of weeks ago. I hope I find other fans of The Adventures of Robin Hood. I may even set myself up for an evening of just watching the discs and all the extras in there. I have that one still on DVD, I think. The old 2-disc set that was really nicely packed with extras. If you've seen The World to Come and want to, make your comments on that regarding the actors, the cast, anything that's gone through it, try and keep things relatively spoiler free. We still try and do that unless we give a heads up towards the end. Then yeah, just post on the Facebook page, comment here, let us know. Until then, maybe there'll be more posts next week, maybe there won't. There are a few more upcoming postal strikes in the UK, so there may be strikes happening in every different sector at every different time. Good on them. I'm always for people trying to get a better deal for their pay and workplace conditions. So it's a minor inconvenience if I've ordered some stuff and it doesn't really arrive on a day I want it. I'll still have hundreds of movies to catch up on. So my post could be like a decade late and I'd still have enough to catch up on before it arrived. So it's not a problem. I hope it's not too much of an inconvenience for you either. And we look forward to listening to the episodes this week. We look forward to any comments you might make. And we look forward to... We just look forward to stuff. Because, what are the other options? See ya.